Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Wow. Ashe, thank you, Divine. Spirit says, your essence is intoxicating. Wow, intoxicating. The impact that you have on other beings is very powerful. They're saying use that power wisely because it is very strong. Okay. I am recording this on a Friday, so Venus is definitely coming through. Venus, Aphrodite, Oshun, the energy of love, of beauty, of abundance. Okay. Now this is about like a personal power that you have. This is a gift. It's a gift that could also be used as a skill. It might translate as charm, which is not a bad thing. A lot of people see that as bad because they don't want to be under the influence of someone, right? But that's up to them to be so self-aware that if someone does come along trying to charm them or trying to influence them in order to do something that's against their will, they have the insight, they have the awareness to not end up bowing at their feet. Okay, you know what I mean? But wow, this is very interesting energy that's coming through. It is extremely intoxicating, all right? It's like a beautiful incense, like what I'm burning here. It smells so good. It's like a flame. I'm also getting divine feminine energy, which can come through any gender, all right? It feels very smooth, very soft, like it comes across very soft, but it's truly powerful. And there are beings that could get lost in your waves. This is interesting. Okay, Spirit. Okay, we've got at the bottom here, winter, take care of your needs. With this power that's coming through, you know, a lot of beings who have this type of power may find that early on during their lifetime, their early years, okay, they gave away their power. And so you may be coming into a time now, an era, where you're realizing your power, and instead of handing it over to others to allow them to siphon from you, you're now harnessing your own energy. You're developing it. You're nurturing it. You're taking care of your own needs. You might be a wolf where you enjoy being alone. You feel very independent and able to take care of yourself very well. Now that could be something that you find very beneficial to do, to be in your own zone, because you have such power within you that is intoxicating. But in the past, there are other beings that sensed this about you. 444 on the timer. This was a time before you knew how to protect your energy. So you've done something very beautiful, because for your energy to be this intoxicating, you are You've achieved a sense of awareness that perhaps you didn't have before, because others used your energy. It didn't have a chance to become intoxicating within you because other people were pulling on your energy so much. But now you're able to enjoy this power that you have because you realize that you have it, and you're realizing how to protect it. Earth Mother, feel loved and comforted. Yeah. You're allowing Mother Earth to nurture and nourish your energy, because that's a beautiful source of nurturance. Perhaps other people who were supposed to nurture you did not. Instead, they took from you, because they realized that you had access to this intoxicating energy perhaps before you realized it. Also, trigger warning, there could have been situations in the past where beings took advantage of your energy because they wanted to control you or overpower you. But now you have stepped into your own power. The power that you have to heal yourself from any wounds that someone else who was in their loser energy. And so instead of stepping into their power, they wanted to take power over you. But you are healing any wounds that beings like that, broken beings, who were acting in that broken energy that they inflicted on you. You're healing those wounds. We've got Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Yeah, this is, I always get Yamaya, Ashe Yamaya with this card, because look at the blue. And then it's connect with your emotions, so that's the energy of the water. Yamaya is the Orisha of the oceans. She's the mother of all. You may have taken time to mother yourself. Okay? There could be something about a mother wound that you have been healing. Take what resonates, okay? And this healing work that you've done, it is giving you wings. It gives you wings. You have wings. So you're one with the water. You're also one with the air. Water signs and air signs could be very significant here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Star ancestor, you're following the voice of your soul. Yeah, you're one with the stars. Like, with this, I keep getting lone wolf here with this winter card and also this star ancestor card. The reason why perhaps you needed to isolate. Now, you could have been put in a situation where you felt isolated, or you could have chosen to isolate. Maybe you did some of both. Okay, maybe there was a situation where people wanted to use you and take advantage of you, so you chose to isolate. Or people could have been trying to isolate you because they see your power, see that intoxicating energy. It's like a hot commodity to a lot of people. They see that you have the power to radiate beauty and radiate. It's like something about your sexuality. You are understanding and understanding that that energy is inherently beautiful, but it's something that is perverted by low vibe beings who roam this earth, right? They take something that is divine and beautiful, like sexual energy, and they pervert it. And they do disgusting things with it. And then they try to make other beings feel that they are disgusting. But we're not. Okay? Those are projections coming from beings that don't like themselves. They don't love themselves. All right? And you freed yourself from this, or you are freeing yourself from this. This is a very ongoing healing process for anyone. So, but you're doing the work. and you're listening to your soul, there could be ancient Egyptian past lives here. All right, a connection to ancient Egypt. At the bottom here, it says, surround yourself with protective energy. That's exactly what you've needed to do. Because, like I said, your energy feels like a hot commodity. It's like people see you and they want what you've got. So you have to protect your energy. You've got air here, which came through when I saw this water guardian card, but she has wings, so I said you're one with the water and with the air. And this is the air guardian coming through. It says shift your perception, because there's something about you needed to shift your perception of yourself, because there's someone who projected onto you their falsehoods, their incorrect beliefs, their false perceptions of this world. You're able to see now that this world truly is a beautiful place because you're in it, and because you are able to do your soul's work within it. But there's somebody who wanted to put their garbage on you. They wanted to put their garbage on you. All right? And so when people do that to us, the first thing that we think is that we're garbage. We believe those projections until we learn that those projections are false, and that it's because of that person's weakness, that they didn't know how to transmute that energy. They didn't know how to transmute that self-hatred that they had. So they tried to put it on us. And then for a little while, we believe it, we buy into it, and we start thinking that we're supposed to hate ourselves, and that we're not good enough, and that we're blah, 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 the whole story. But you're shifting your perception of yourself, and you're seeing that you have wings. You're seeing your growth. You're seeing your power. And you're not allowing anyone to mess up that story for you, because this is your story. This is your life. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Things are moving in divine timing for you, and they're divinely aligned. So there's also something here about realizing that everything has happened when it needed to. I'm seeing that tattoo that says no regrets. So there could be something about regretting things from the past. And if we're honest with ourselves, there are things that, you know, we realize that, oh my goodness, if I had known then what I know now. Like, there's definitely advice I would have given my 21-year-old self, or my 5-year-old self, for sure. My 6-year-old self. There are things that I wish I had known then, regarding my power, regarding my value, my worth. But that's the initial, like, that's the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, I wish I had known. I wish I had known. But then when you think about how those experiences that happen to us, what those experiences have taught us, and the journey that we've been able to walk on, that we've been able to take because of those experiences, and the lessons that we've learned that now allow us to connect with other beings. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it, life. Life had to life. And now, you know, I get it, right? Life be lifing, right? Yeah. But that's why you're here. Is because you've been through those experiences that felt so hideous and so awful and so heavy and so burdensome at the time. But in learning how to release those burdens, by loving yourself, by seeing yourself as this beautiful being that you are, that is why your energy is so intoxicating. You're bringing tears to my eyes, beautiful being. Okay. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. I see your progress, and it's so beautiful. Okay, Afro Goddess. Yes, Afro Goddess. This is about a positive journey forward. And that water energy keeps coming through, beautiful being. Yeah, you're no longer on a leash. Like, perhaps somebody thought you were on a leash, or maybe you even thought you were under somebody's control. But you've released that energy. You've cut the cord. You've cut the cord. And this is the key to your power. And realizing that you always had a machete in your hand. You maybe forgot that, or you didn't know that. Somebody told you that, you know, you were powerless. But then you look and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been carrying around a machete all along and I can cut these cords. And then you got to cutting and you're like, now you're strong. Because you release what needs to be released. You have refused to be bound to someone or something or some idea or some false perception of yourself. You refuse to be bound by that. Yeah. You've realized your power. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You got busy with that scythe. You were like, let's go. You gotta go, and you gotta go, and that's gotta go. Yeah. Yeah. Releasing things that needed to go. And this has allowed you to truly grow, like, in the most honest sense, like growth. Like, what is growth? What is growth? Like, how do we grow? What does it take to grow? Like, look at a plant. It takes sunlight. It takes water. It takes care. You know how people put like fencing around their garden so that the little critters can't get to it. And when you put down grass seed, you put like hay so that the birds don't come and get it, right? So there may have been people gossiping and spying and watching, wanting to take your seeds before they even had time to germinate, before they had time to really become something. But you've learned how to protect yourself. That's why that arrow, surround yourself with protective energy, came through. Because this is the key to life. It's all of these things. It's your journey of growth. Realizing, first of all, the value of the seeds that you have. And that you can grow things, that you yourself can grow. Realizing the power of protection that you have a machete in your hand, a scythe in your hand. Realizing that you have tools that you can use. You can put up fences, you can put up boundaries, right? You can say no. You can speak your mind. And you can be quiet. You don't have to react to someone's nonsense because they don't own you. Right? Realizing that you've got a ship that you can get in and you can go places. Realizing that you have a key. You are the key. Because divine energy flows through you at all times. Realizing that there are positive connections that you can have, right? You might have a familiar. You might connect with the spirit animals. But also, you're not on a leash. So you can cut ties when you need to. It's all of these things. And this is what's been exposed for you. This is what has come to light that was perhaps hidden in the past. There's something about your inner child that is so sweet and beautiful. I'm getting light and dark, light and dark. So during your childhood years, you may have had a lot of really beautiful, lovely experiences and a lot of dark experiences that you had to kind of navigate, right? I never realized that this child card is card 13. So there could be something that felt like a death during your childhood years. Oh, and then the way that slipped down like that, the moon is right there. There's something that's been illuminated to you. I see whatever darkness you've experienced as being an invitation to get to know your subconscious mind, to know how you work, to know how you heal, to know how you learn to love yourself. That's what the darkness was for. And I'm not making excuses for anyone who put darkness on you or tried to cast shadows on you. Absolutely not, because whoever has done that, see, the difference is that they're stuck in their darkness. It's one thing when we learn from the darkness and we allow it to teach us, and we allow ourselves to fall in love with our subconscious selves, right? And then we bring consciousness, right? So we're balanced. But there are beings who are stuck in a place of darkness, like in the sunken place. Isn't that from Get Out? The sunken place. They're stuck. But you didn't remain stuck. That's why wings are coming through. You grew wings. What's that story, that movie with Maleficent in there? Maleficent. Okay, so you're grounded, beautiful being. You're grounded. Anchored. You have a firm foundation, and it's also something about your relationship with Mother Earth where you're able to center yourself and ground yourself. What deck, Spirit? Okay. They're guiding me to the, the Lilith deck. Ashe, Lilith. You might work with Lilith. Okay, but that energy of independence is coming through. Also, not apologizing for who you are. So this very intoxicating energy that comes from you, it feels like it's something that you've been told by society that you need to apologize for, or that you need to hide. Or now there are times where it benefits us to not hide, but to not reveal something, right? But it's not out of shame. It's that we're protecting ourselves. It's protection. It's protection. Now, I didn't even realize, but this evil eye pendant was hidden, and I put it out. So there's something about evil eye here. There might be something that you're being guided to protect, because, as in, like, not reveal it. Because someone is coveting it. They want it. Let's see what's coming through here, Spirit. What's about this hidden energy or this evil eye? Oh, this could be a connection. We've got chemistry and passion here, and growth. 22:33 on the timer. Oh, so 2s and 3s. So you might have a union here or connection, and somebody wants to hit you with some third party energy. It could be that. I'm also getting that with your intoxicating energy. See, petty, jealous, and envious beings like to compete with beings with divine, intoxicating, lovely energy, because they feel like if they can take from a being like you, that they can then wear that as false confidence, like, oh, I really did something. There could be something like that here, where perhaps in the past someone has tried to interfere in a connection of yours, but you've grown from this. You've grown from this. What I'm getting is that there's nothing that you need to hide. It's about protecting. It's about protecting. What else is coming through here, Spirit, for this beautiful being? Lots of, yeah, because this is the second winter card. The first winter card was that lone wolf card. Okay, lone wolf. All right, so maybe you've gone from being a lone wolf to being in a divine connection, or that's something that is coming for you. With rebirth and winter, there could be a rebirth of a divine connection. Nothing toxic, okay? If this is about a toxic relationship or situationship, then this is not your reading. All right, but if there's something where, like, there's a renewal, a rebirth, beautiful energy being infused into something to make it even better, deeper, stronger, okay? But we've got that here. Growth, summer, and rebirth, winter. I'm getting that there's like work that you've done on yourself regarding healing and loving and learning that flourishes throughout your entire life, making any of your connections and your unions so much more rich and protected. I didn't realize, but I was gazing at a bottle of olive oil, and I use olive oil for protection. So there's something about the work that you've done on yourself within to heal yourself that has now allowed everything else in your life to prosper. Whether it's a connection with another being, and remember, that's not just a divine union that's romantic. That's our connections with our children. That's our connections with people that we see in the street. You know, the work that you do on yourself, it helps with things like social anxiety and whatnot, because a lot of times the anxiety we feel is really, it's projections from other people, or it's our senses being overwhelmed because we're energetically sensitive. But in the past, maybe you didn't know how to process that energy or to protect your energy. Or maybe you felt like you had to be out there all the time, and so you were constantly on empty, like a gas tank on empty, but then forcing yourself to be around people. There's something about taking care of your own needs where you're like, I know how to protect myself now. I know when I need to say no to going to a party. I'm not going to every party that I'm invited to. I'm not going to every luncheon that, you know, I get an invite to. You know, it's something about that too. And so then when you do connect with people, your tank is full. And you might leave early, and that's okay because you've had your fill. You know, now I need to go and make sure that my tank remains full. You know, it's like something about personal boundaries that makes your whole life better. Okay, so we've got contracts, career commitments. This is Saturn. This was about a karmic lesson. There's something that was a lesson that you came into this life to learn, and you've learned it. And because of that, your life is now rich, truly rich. Not just your bank account, but in all areas. Closed off, guarded, and resistance. What is this, Spirit? What is this energy? Thoughts, isolating. Past, lack, suffering. Yeah, I'm seeing this as the past. Somebody could have called you closed off and guarded, but maybe that's because you needed to heal. Maybe you needed to, like I said before, you needed to isolate. Oh, but look, that led to renewal and spark. It's something about getting your spark back. And see, that's the thing. Like people talk and they don't know. Oh, you know, they're so introverted. They always are to themselves. They don't want to come to the cookout. They don't want to go to the family reunion. Whatever it was that you needed to isolate yourself from, it wasn't worth, okay, whatever party or cookout or whatever, those social events were not worth your well-being. So if you made a choice to forego something social for the sake of your well-being, then you made the right choice, because clearly you got your spark back, or you're getting it back. You're a visionary. A part of that spark is your, that's your wand's energy. That's what you're able to both see and do. Okay? What you're able to fulfill here on earth, the vision that you're able to make come true. You know, you see it, that's your intuition, and then you make it happen with your wand's energy, right? There's something that you advocate for others, somehow that you work on behalf of other beings because of the vision that you have. And this is how I see that wand's energy being enacted. It's like you see something, you know what is causing suffering for some people, because this past lack and suffering card is right underneath that visionary card, how I laid it out. And so because you're able to have the vision of what the problem is, how people are suffering, and what needs to happen, you advocate for people. Somehow you do this, or this is your life's mission. And what a beautiful opportunity, because I see that there are things that happened in your past that were very, could have been traumatic. It feels like it caused suffering and pain, but that has been your mission. And you've been so dedicated to healing yourself that you were willing to isolate yourself, truly go within, go hermit mode, okay? I see you as the hermit and the high priestess, where you were like looking at situations, assessing things, figuring out, like taking your flashlight and seeing what happened. Maybe you were piecing together a puzzle that you experienced. It's like the puzzle of your past, trying to figure out and make sense of what you had been through. None of that was in vain. I get that there are beings that could have, because like birds came through, like the birds that try to come and get the grass seed before the seeds have time to grow. There could have been things that you wanted to do to help others where people were already judging you, like, what are you gonna do? Or, you know, what's the point of that? They were judging, they were squawking. But that's exactly what it is, was it was squawk, squawk, squawk. Like nobody was really hearing them because they were talking nonsense. It was just noise, it was just chatter. All the while, you had a vision. And the reason why you were able to see things that other people weren't willing to see, 3232 on the timer, is because you had allowed yourself to go through so much change, so much transformation. Because wherever it was that you were in the past was so painful that you were like, no, I'm about to heal this. Because you didn't want to continue to suffer. And so because of the work that you've done, now you are in a beautiful position where you are able to be an advocate for others who are currently going through what you've already been through and what you've worked to make sense of. Not that those traumatic events can we ever make sense of it, because it's usually it's very evil projections, it's terrible manipulation. I couldn't even say it because I hate that energy. I really do. If there's anything that I hate, it's when people try to extinguish the free will of others. And everything in my being says no to that, right? But by the same token, I see what beautiful beings are able to do when our free will has been manipulated and controlled. It hasn't been extinguished because we still have our free will, but we were definitely impacted by that. And what do? We transform because of it. So even though I do not like that energy, I like what we're able to do because of it. So it all serves a purpose in the end, but that's what you're doing, is you're not allowing the pain and the suffering that you went through to be in vain. You're using your experiences to help others. I love that so much. Okay, so they want me to go to the crows, which usually I begin with this deck. But okay. We've got territory. There's something that's yours. I'm getting this like, okay, there could have been someone in the past who tried to make you think that something that's yours was theirs. It could have been your body. It could have been your energy, right? Because your energy is fire. It's bomb. All right? But you have gone on this journey of discovering and realizing that it is yours. You have discovered your power. People better watch out for you, because I'm telling you. Woo! Okay, we've got commitment. I see you as being completely committed to your soul, but also there are opportunities that you either have now or that you will have to have a beautiful commitment where you are aligned with someone else. It's like you're both aligned with the divine, right? And because you're both aligned with the divine, you're also aligned with each other. And that's why it works. That's why it works. This could be anybody that you have a partnership with, all right? But it is divine. And you're able to fulfill your soul's purpose, which what I'm getting is to enjoy life. Like there's somebody that you're connecting with. This is past, present, future. Take it as it resonates. There's somebody that you're connecting with who you are meant to discover the beauty of life together. Neither one of you has had a perfect past. Who does? Right? But in healing your past self, right? We gotta love it all. Past, present, future. Loving all of ourselves. In healing your past wounds, you have discovered something within each other that is like on the same frequency. And I'm seeing multiple frequencies. But you gel. Like there's this beautiful harmony between both of you. And this is meant to happen. This is destiny. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Yeah. There's something that's being prepared for you. All right. Now, what I am getting is that there's somebody who is trying to dominate you, more than likely, in the past. But I am seeing that there is somebody who, like, they see this energy. I kept getting that, like, with the birds. And I love birds, okay? I love birds. But I was seeing them in, on the negative end of the spectrum with that grass seed. Like, they want to get your seeds before they grow, right? They want to peck at your garden. They want to exert dominance. But whenever you're seeing this reading, you are so self-aware that you know who it is that wants to dominate you so that you don't experience the fulfillment in life that you are, I'm hearing that you're owed because you've done the work. They want to create distance between you and your divine purpose. They want to have a negative influence on you to distract you from what's healthy for you and what's aligned with your well-being. But see, beautiful being, you have the insight that you need. You know who's coming for your seeds before they're planted. You know. And there's somebody here who displaces their anger. Like, they have wrath. They have an incredible amount of anger and envy, but they like to displace it because they're not comfortable with taking a close look at themselves and identifying the true source of their pain. They'd rather project it onto you. That's more than likely you have dealt with people like this for most of your life, since childhood, because that child card came through. And so this could be somebody in your community, right? Somebody close to you in proximity. They like to mimic you because they want to be just like you. But you will always have the balance that you need in order to resist what is not for you. Okay? You will always have the balance that you need because that's what you have worked for. You've worked to heal from within. You're working to heal from within because, like I said, it's a constant thing. But whoever this reading resonates with, you have earned a level of joy and completion that nobody can disturb. Nobody can take that from you. Yeah, you got new life, which is what you've manifested, a whole new life. Because you were willing to do the work. What else, Spirit, was coming through for this beautiful being? Oh, full moon. So, enlightenment. I always see that with the full moon, okay? Also, the completion of a cycle. It's like, whatever seeds you've been planting, you're going to see them come to fruition. Full moon. So that's confirmation that whatever somebody was trying to interrupt your process of growth, which is what they were trying to do. They wanted to dig up those seeds so that they couldn't be planted, and they wanted to peck at your garden and come mess everything up, but they can't because you've got the full moon here. And so every seed that you planted is growing. New life, full moon. Yes, because you released what needed to be released. So congratulations to you, because that machete card, that scythe card that came through, that was exactly what you needed to do. This is confirmation, beautiful being, that whatever you released in the past, oh, and this came out with it. I was trying to pull out the scythe card, but the tree card came out as well, regarding family or community or someone who was supposed to be in your corner, but they worked against you. Whatever you released, the payoff from that is that you get this new life. And your seeds are able to grow because there's nobody coming along digging up your seeds before they're able to be planted and germinate and sprout and all of that. Your garden is divinely protected. And your energy is beautiful. I do want to mention, because the intoxicating energy came through. You might work with, and also I'm recording this on a Friday, so that's Venus. It has been coming through to me, like, and it's coming through now. So you might work with essential oils. A really wonderful way to nurture your vibe and this intoxicating energy that you have. Rosemary is coming through. That is especially wonderful to support divine feminine energy. It helps with memory and healing our memories, okay? But if you want to connect with the frequency of an essential oil, it could be lavender for peace, rosemary for your divine feminine energy and for good memories and things like that. What else is coming through, Spirit? I do like eucalyptus for healing, okay? Peppermint is good for revitalizing your energy. Just be careful because you don't want that in your eyes at all. But whatever essential oil you want to, bergamot is excellent for anxiety, okay? But, and you can make a mix if you want to, but you can take a bottle. You can use a glass bottle if you like, or plastic, whatever you have that you use, okay? And you can put water in there. I like to use warm water because it feels so good when you mist yourself with it. And put a couple of drops of the essential oil, shake it up, and just spray it all over yourself. Just spray it, you know. I use that for my hair moisture sprays, okay? I add a little coconut oil and I make it real fancy. But if you just want to align with a particular frequency, you can do that. You can use rose essential oil, ylang ylang. I'm just thinking because, like, it came through that your energy is intoxicating. So, you know, these are the things that we can do. Anointing ourselves. You can dab a little olive oil on yourself and rub it into your hands and your cuticles, you know, at night or before you go out. Doing those things that nurture your beauty, but also protect your energy and help you to align with a certain divine frequency is very helpful before you go out, because I can tell that your energy you have so much beauty, and it is intoxicating, okay? Just your vibe. So a lot of times people do feel intimidated by that, and then that evil eye came through. So doing these things to support yourself and support your energy before you go out and face the world can be very helpful. But it's already come through that you have learned, and you are learning how to protect your energy. So that's just something you can do. If you use the water mist that I told you about, just make sure that you replace the water every couple days, because if you're not using a preservative, it does get like it can grow bacteria. So you'll want to empty it if you don't use it all after a couple of days, and rinse the bottle, and then, you know, use it again. So like do it all over again. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I am so grateful that you allow them to flow through me, and thank you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate you so much, and I also appreciate your likes, your kind comments, your subscribes, your hypes, your shares, and your donations. Thank you so much. Every bit of love that you send to In Her Dreams, I am so truly grateful for. I love you. I wish you peace, joy, and so many blessings. Take care.